Aren't you supposed to be in court or something, man?
I'm locked in a cell. Full arrest.
Oh man.
Well, you know, when you open your mouth that wide, you better stick your foot in it. I'm thinking that's all I got to say.
Can't do that. I can't do that.
Welcome to Last Minute Betting. Boy, we're going to have fun tonight. Mike, Bob, Jabari, Trump are with me tonight. Glad you could take time out of your busy schedule to join us. Don't forget, we're brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company for sports bettors worldwide. We're all about sports betting. We're all about sports, talking sports, making money. Right? Right. Jabari is with us. Jabari, I have missed you so much. I'm just saying. And Justin, you can take off your mask now, okay? Come on.
Who's Justin? Who's Justin?
You don't even sound like him. Come on. If you're going to try to talk, you got to at least try to do an impression, you know, like Big Lee or something like that.
Okay.
It's huge. It's huge.
I'm gonna make sports betting great again.
Unfortunately, that sounds like Justin talking. All right. You know, I got to tell you guys, you know, the other day, you guys gave me crap about Dallas and Colorado. And by the way, Mike, I'm going to whip up on you right now. Don't give me any about Edmonton going into Vancouver and winning. I don't care. It does not matter. Vancouver was very good at home. Edmonton was only 3 games over 500 on the road this year. They are not a good road team. You know, you can forget Connor McDavid and your boy Skinner. He sucks. That's all I got. And by the way, while Jabari's here, as I said, OKC can play some fucking defense. Okay. And
let's slow down a little bit. Now you're getting a little too. Let's slow down just a little bit.
I said they're a better defensive team.
Here's the thing, Bob.
I'm on OKC for the series. Let me finish, and then you can take over. I'm on OKC for the series. When you hold Luka to 19 and Kyrie to 20, you're doing a fucking good job defensively. And they won that game, and they're winning this series. And Dallas is going down again. There you go. You guys can come back with whatever you want. I'll leave.
Well, I want to respond. First of all, I mean, you know, Dallas was up 3-0 on Colorado. You're acting like that was just a walk in the park, you know, and you knew it. And silence out of him when it was 3-0 and didn't hear a word out of him. Vancouver was down 4-1 to Edmonton. I mean, you had 2 games that you had 3-goal leads in both of those games, and both teams choked it away. That's not going to happen very often, man. Come on. Come on.
Let me explain to you. When you're
on
a roll,
dial up. Get your internet set.
When you're on a roll like I am, I was on 8 in a row. Now I'm 9 out of the last 10 playoff games, and I am picking every single fucking playoff game. When you're on a roll like that, Mike, it's time for you to tail. Quit fading me all the time, man.
Well, first of all, your streak's over now, right? It ended last night, correct?
Yeah, and then I won the next game. What do you
think the chances of you going on another streak like that and having 2 games where your teams that you're backing are down 3 goals and they come back and win? That's not going to happen very often. Reality's going to set in very soon, Bob. Enjoy it while you can. You got lucky in both of those games.
Okay, Justin, you got anything to say? Since you were on, Dallas with him.
Well, yeah, I took Dallas to win because, they were a positive EV play on a sports book I had. I don't know. I gave you your props, Bob. You are the hockey king. I don't got much.
That wasn't a very good comeback. I was expecting more firepower out of you. All right, Jabari, give me some shit. Why do I need to slow down on OKC?
They're not as good of a team as you think they are. Okay, look, they're a great regular season team. However, it doesn't matter what they do to the Mavs. I don't think a lot of people were even expecting the Mavs to beat the Clippers, but no Kawhi, that's pretty much going to happen. James Harden and PG just aren't good enough anymore to really carry a team like that without Kawhi. It doesn't matter what you say about the Thunder. They're not getting past the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves, by far, have been the best defensive team in this playoffs. Okay. It hands down. They've shut down Jokic, who just won his third MVP. They have shut down Jamal Murray, held Jamal Murray to 0 points and a half. It does not matter what you can say about OKC. This is Ant's trip to lose, in my opinion. I got a prediction. T-Wolves, Celtics, T-Wolves taking it 4-3. I don't think Jason Tatum gets his first ring. Nobody is coming out of the East except for the Celtics. And the way the T-Wolves are looking now, you know, it doesn't matter what you can say about the Thunder. They're not better than the T-Wolves, in my opinion.
No, now I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're winning this series. And they are the better defensive team than Dallas. That's all I mean, care
Dallas,
about.
All they have to do is shut down Luka and Kyrie and hold Kyrie. That's it. Who else is going to score for them? There is no other third option. That's like it is no other third option. Pretty much OKC has pretty much at least 3-4 people there that can really score. Then they got a great bench. Dallas has no bench, you know. So, I mean, hey, technically Dallas should have never beat the Clippers, but they did. So, hey.
So then you agree with me? OKC's winning this series.
Yeah, they're gonna beat Dallas. If Dallas goes down 2-0 tonight, they're not gonna be able to win the series. OKC they have too much offensive firepower. It's just over. So
okay, I'll buy that. I'm with you. I'm with you on Minnesota too. They're shocking the hell out of me. They win this series against Denver. They very well could be the champs because
if they sweep Denver, if they hold Denver to one game, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind they win a championship because you swept KD and D-Book easily.
Right.
You take 2 games away from Jokic at home. You're going home. And if you sweep the Nuggets, there's no doubt in my mind Ian gets his first chip, and he deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I cannot argue with that at all. I mean, Minnesota looks outstanding, and that defense is amazing. I mean, you saw it last game, you know, particularly in that first half. They just were all over the place, man. I mean, they're just too much. And without Gobert and Cat stays out of foul trouble, if Cat stays out of foul trouble, you're done. I mean, he's, you know, him being on the court is going to make a difference. You know, whether Gobert's there or not. And yeah, I mean, they're just absolutely dynamite right now. I mean, I what else can you say? They not only beat Denver twice, they kind of did it easily. I mean, it's, you know, it's
no crazy. Gobert the last game either. Gobert wasn't even there. He didn't log a single minute. He was there for his son's birth. He wasn't even there, and they still beat him by almost 20.
Yeah. And we talked about Denver having no matchup for Anthony Edwards. They don't have anybody that can guard him, you know, and it's starting to become obvious now that, you know, Minnesota's just got too many matchups that favor them everywhere on the floor. I mean, it's too much for Denver. Yeah, Minnesota they're a lot better than what I thought they were going to, you know, be heading into the playoff. I mean, I thought the Suns would maybe at least make that series somewhat. And I mean, they just can't lose right now.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards looks like Michael Jordan at sometimes. Honestly, I mean, not to compare the two too early.
Yeah, but sure.
Two-way.
Yeah, you're talking about plays. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, definitely.
But Dallas don't have no answer for SGA either. I mean, they don't. You know.
No, they don't. They don't have anybody that can guard him. No, I was aware of that heading into the series, but I just I expected, maybe the veteran, Luka and Kyrie could get the job done here somehow, some way. The Thunder are still young. Nobody expected them to be a 1 seed anyway. And maybe that inexperience would come into play, but it doesn't look like that throughout the first game, at least. But it's a long series. We'll see what happens. But regardless, yeah, Minnesota is walking to the finals, it seems like, and bring on Boston.
So, Jabari, I just got one thing to say. If OKC's a regular season team, how come they haven't lost a game in the playoffs yet?
Because they played the Pelicans. Who are the Pelicans without Zion? And BI was non-existent that whole series. BI started the game, and BI and CJ McCollum started the game in one of those games, 2 for 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't expect the Pelicans to go far without Zion anyways. Technically, if I'm the Lakers, I would have let the Pelicans beat me, so they would have gone to the 7th seed, and then we going to beat the Kings without Malik Monk, and then they'd have played the Thunder. The Thunder wouldn't have swept the Lakers, in my opinion.
No,
I think the Lakers would have at least got 2 games on them, but they played the Pelicans. Both of those are young teams. Thunder have a better, younger roster. Like, the average age for the Thunder team is like 25 years old. Gordon Hayward's the oldest person there. So,
okay.
2 young teams. One of them better coached. One of them got more talent. Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of coaching, guys, the press conference last night for the Pacers, and by the way, if you watched the NBA postgame with Shaq immediately, he didn't like that whining that the coach did, whining about the officials. Shaq said, "You don't know how many times I got fouled per game. You know how many times they didn't call fouls. But the one thing he didn't do is he didn't whine and cry. And that was a little whining and crying. I don't think that's very smart. He ought to get fined for that, should he not?"
Who?
Rick Carlisle?
Yeah.
I'm not big on fining players and coaches for expressing, how they feel about how a game was officiated. I mean, I'm not huge on that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, right. If you're going to give him a fine, you give Mike Malone a fine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on that. Here's the thing. If you're the Pacers, this thing's not over yet. The whining and crying needs to stop, and you need to get ready. You're going back home. It's series ain't over yet. Brunson's foot, that's going to be interesting. Anunoby, I think he's out game 3, isn't he? And that's going to be
yeah.
I think he's out game 3. I saw. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're the Pacers, you can't be looking at this as, unless he's trying to plant the seed that, hey, we're going home. Let's Phil Jackson was always good about that with the officials. He was real good about, making it known, hey, we'd like them calls too. And Indiana's going back home now. So maybe he's trying to set this up to where, hey, we're going back home. Let us now get some calls, whatever the case is. The series is not over yet. If you're Indiana, I mean, I don't think Indiana will win the series, obviously. But Anunoby's out. Brunson's foot's hurt. I mean, if you're Indiana, you can't be packing it up like it's over. You're going back home. You got to be ready to fight.
Agreed. I'm with you on that. The NBA wants New York and Boston in that Eastern Conference final. I mean, that back.
Sure. They'll take that any day. New York and Boston markets, shoot. Sign them up.
And
they're the only 2 East teams worth watching.
Yeah, right. They don't want Indy. I mean, yeah. No, that's exactly what they want. Cleveland and Indiana, a couple of Midwest teams. They don't want either of them in there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And maybe Indiana gets a game at home. I don't know. I mean, Anunoby, the Knicks offensive rebounding last night was just outstanding. I mean, they were just going after everything, man. Anunoby was very big for them. And then, once again, when they need Jalen Brunson to show, what do you have, 13 points in the fourth quarter, really was he got hurt obviously and missed that whole second quarter. So he comes back in, and when it was time for him to score, what's he do? 13 points in the fourth quarter. And, what can you say? That guy's outstanding. Dallas probably misses him, huh?
Yeah, what do you think about that, guys?
They said he was overpaid, and he's proved everybody wrong so far.
Yeah, he has overpaid. Yeah, I'm unreal, man. You can't. One thing you can't, you can't say enough about his heart and determination, man. He goes after it. And I thought it was funny. The announcer said during the game, when McConnell was actually guarding him well, with his ankle being messed up, and why they took McConnell out and put him back on the bench, I really don't get it, because McConnell was doing a good job defensively on him, and they were kind of jawing. And the announcer said Brunson's dad stood up and yelled at Jalen and said, "Stop talking with him, just play." Which is kind of cool, because I've seen videos of Jalen's dad working with him when he was a kid, and clearly he's, a big supporter of his son and knows, what he does well. And, he was basically saying, look, Jalen, don't get into that. Don't give them in, just go out and play. And he did.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of like I am with you, Mike. That's why you should tail me a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I missed the hot streak. If I tail you now, I'm gonna regret it, because I missed your hot streak.
I'm getting ready to start a new one. What are you talking about?
You know how that goes. Start a new one. Yeah. Come on, you know how that goes. You don't just start a new one up immediately sometimes. So
I'm tempted to take your Stars money line, Bob, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going back to.
Hey, that's the Jabari Cup right there. His abs and his stars. That's the Jabari Cup right there, baby.
Yep.
No, there ain't no Houston hockey team now.
Well, no, but
Dallas is as close as I'll get.
Exactly. So he comes out a winner here. Either his abs or his stars are going to be in the conference finals.
I think Dallas probably takes this one, though. I don't think the Avs pull this one out. Dallas just been looking solid all season. Yeah,
I think this is the Stars have to win this game. They can't go down 0-2 going to Colorado. No, that they have to have. No. Just like we saw with the Panthers last night. You can't go down 2 games to none when you're in your home building going on the road. I think Dallas takes care of business tonight.
Speaking of that game last night, what a cheap shots by Matthew Tkachuk in the fight with Pasternak down on the ice, and Matthew Tkachuk hitting him in the back of the head. And then Pasternak got up, and he got on top of it. This is going to be a war now. And here's what you don't want to do. Are you ready? I'm going to say it. Mike's going to get pissed at me, but I don't care. You're going to wake up Pat Maroon, and he's going to whip some ass and himself another fucking cup.
Okay. Well, the fourth line player, I don't see Pat Maroon being the guy carrying them to the Stanley Cup, but he will make sure that every time he's on the ice, he's going to do his enforcer role now pretty heavily. Yes, 100%. I just don't think Boston quite has enough to beat Florida this series, man. I think Florida's just too talented. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they've just got too much.
You guys got anything on this game tonight? Rangers, Carolina. Does Carolina come back and get their first win of this series, or do the Rangers dare go up 3-0? Remember, Shesterkin, the goalie, is now 29 playoff games in a row, allowing 3 goals or less.
I don't have anything on it personally, but
yeah, it's a tough one here because Carolina's back home. They're going to be throwing everything the Rangers' way. I mean, this is desperation time. that always worries you, when a team's going to be playing that desperate. Can the Rangers weather the hurricane, early on? And if they do, then they'll have a shot if they get settled in. I mean, I guess if there's a team that could do it, it'd be the Rangers. They're a 1 seed. It's not, but man, I
don't know if Shesterkin can really just limit them to 3, they'll be fine. But I mean, Carolina's going to throw the kitchen sink at them at home. So I really don't know. It's going to be a great rest of the series. I'll tell you that. This hockey, playoffs has been really good. Thought Boston was going to pretty much blow their lead in the first round. That didn't happen. Panthers really came out shooting the puck pretty nice. So it's a lot of good hockey on the ice right now. But as far as Carolina, they're just going to have to come out and just really going to have to find something to really get past Igor in the goal.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. But I'm just going to say it's been a great hockey playoffs for me so far. 2 3-goal deficit come from behind victories. And on top of that, Carolina in the first round, I had them at -1.5, and they were pretty well dead to right, losing the game. And they wound up winning the game 5-3 and covered my -1.5 puck line. So
Carolina, remember they had a couple of leads this last game against the Rangers. The Rangers always had an answer, though. If you're Carolina, and the other thing is the Rangers score, you have to score first if you're Carolina. And in my opinion, if you're Carolina, you need to get them down 2 goals. You need to build you a 2-goal lead and on this Rangers team. That way you're a little safer. And then after that, you can't let up. You got to keep going at them because they're the 1 seed. I mean, you have if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to beat them. So yeah, this game's going to be interesting, man. I think that first period, boy, I think a hurricane's coming. I mean, it has to. They have no choice, Now,
Jabari hasn't been with us since the NFL draft. So I just wanted, before we get into positive EV, I'd just like to get your take on what you thought happened in the draft. Some of the winners, some of the losers. We all know the Falcons are losers, but
yes. Dan Orlovsky said it was a good pick. Nah, he's damn wrong. That guy.
Who is Dan Orlovsky? Dan just needs to stay on actual sports media and not on draft decisions. Dan himself was a terrible draft pick, so let's just get that out of the way. Okay. As far as me, there were a couple surprises. Obviously, was not expecting Penix to be selected by Washington. Not Washington, by the Falcons. I was really expecting Washington to go with him, but Jaden Daniels is a great pick as well. I knew Caleb was going overall number 1. We knew Drake May was going to pretty much go number 3 overall. We knew Marvin Harrison was not going to be passed up. I had heard some people, oh, well, if you're Arizona, no, you need to draft Marvin Harrison. So you're okay. The Chargers obviously put in a tough decision. You either draft O-line and have no receivers or draft a receiver and have no O-line.
Yeah.
So now is the Quentin Johnston show. So now we're going to see if he's really going to come out and be who he says he is. Malik Neighbors, he was very unhappy to be drafted by the Giants. I'll come out and state that up front. He's been on social media a lot. He was very adamant he didn't want to go to the Giants, even though he was getting drafted by the Giants. Everything else is just not a needle mover for me. Bo Nix going to the Broncos, not going to do anything. I think it's going to be another Paxton Lynch situation. They're going to hype him up to be some great quarterback. He's going to come in and not do anything. That's pretty much it. And I think maybe Kansas City has something in Xavier Worthy. For the love of God, Rashee Rice needs to stay out of trouble for right now. He just needs to settle down, and his camp really needs to tell him, dude, you need to settle down. Otherwise, you're not going to be in the NFL anymore. So, yeah. And then my Texans, we had great draft picks. So we're obviously going to be pretty good this season with CJ coming back. But I'm excited to see what the Colts do this season. You get Anthony Richardson back. Personally, I still want Cam Newton to come and tutor him. I think he's the second coming of Cam Newton with a better arm to me, and he just needs to protect himself. But I'm excited to see what the Colts will do with him this season.
Okay. All right. Cool. Like that. By the way, sorry about that. Do you think Jerry Rice's kid is going to do anything for the Chargers?
No. I don't think he's going to be nearly like all eyes are going to be on Marvin Harrison Jr. Because
sure.
I mean he's the best NFL son that's coming in. So it doesn't matter what he does unless he outplays him. Then yeah, but he's not going to do anything. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. might come in and have 1,000-yard season off rip. To be honest with you, so
hey, yeah, I think so too. I think you'll have a great rookie season. So
I think
we got to get the positive EV, but I got to ask you, Jabari, for Justin's sake, do you think LeBron James is the second best player ever in the history of the NBA?
Uh-oh.
Who's the first best? Who's the first best in your eyes?
He's Michael Jordan.
Okay. Did Joe Milton go to the Pats? And how do you feel about that? Did he go to the Pats? You're talking about the kid from Tennessee, right? Give me a second.
Yeah. He did. He did go to the Patriots.
I don't know why the Patriots go get him, but okay. I mean, we'll see. Wow, he went 6th round. That's kind of insane.
Yes.
Wow, that he goes that late with the arm talent that he has. 6th round is kind of insane. I'll be completely honest. I want him somewhere else other than there. Really, to be honest with you, he could have gone to New Orleans. He could have gone to Las Vegas. He could have gone to the Rams. He could have gone anywhere else. And personally, to me, he's 3-4 weeks removed from being a starter. Now, he can't go to Detroit. He can't go to pretty much anywhere else. But he could have gone to those teams and pretty much will have been a starter, in my opinion. But I think he's a great late round addition. Does he beat out Drake May in camp? No. But I mean, given an opportunity, I definitely think with his arm talent alone,
right.
And he's 6'5", 235, by the way. He's no small guy. He's got that Anthony Richardson build. So he just needs somebody to let him know how to use his body properly. You're big, you're fast, and you got a cannon for an arm. So, hey, yeah. But you asked about the first and second best players. I honestly don't know. My rankings have shifted a lot over this last playoff series. All of the old generation has really gotten booted out of the playoff series. Steph's gone, Bron's gone, KD swept. So I honestly don't know who's second best anymore.
Like all time.
Yeah, I know. This hurts all time. Especially with KD. This hurts all time rankings for me because this is your second super team that has failed you back to back. And you devised that super team, and then all of a sudden, after the fact, I don't know if y'all saw the reports, after they got swept, KD, D-Book, and Bradley Beal decided to take to the media about, how they didn't really feel like they were a great fit with each other. KD said he didn't really feel like he was part of the offense. Devin Booker said it was kind of awkward, and now he wants to go to the Knicks. All this stuff started coming out. But you guys were the ones that decided to get together.
Yeah.
Y'all made the moves happen.
Right.
So I don't want to hear any of that right now. Both of you were $40 million plus players. You should have made something happen. So I don't care. But Bron, I'm gonna be honest. Bron is still top 3 for me. I think between him, Kobe, and MJ, they're still top 3 for me. Really, at this point, you can carousel the 3 in any order because Kobe did what he could, but he wouldn't be able to do anything without Shaq, in my opinion, to really get him started. Although he did win a ring without Shaq. Don't get me wrong, but that was after the fact. So
2 rings. 2.
This is facts. He won 2 rings without Shaq. Bron won a ring outside of Miami. Okay. And he won a ring with the Lakers. Okay. So he also won 2. MJ's MJ. So, I mean, and MJ is perfect in the finals, yes, but he's not perfect in the playoffs. So, like I said, you can carousel the 3, pick and choose who you want. But everybody from really 3 on, I don't even really know what to tell you because there's been so much happening lately. A lot of people have tarnished their legacies. KD, especially for me. Now, I was definitely an advocate for him when everybody was like those Golden State rings were Mickey Mouse rings. I didn't think they were, but KD's tarnishing his legacy for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not looking good for him.
Very good. That's a good
fair.
answer for you, Justin.
Well, that's fair, but it's honestly, Jabari, it's for me, I cannot put Kobe over LeBron James. I just can't. So if they're top 3, LeBron James is locked in the top 2.
Okay. That's fine. That's why I say you can carousel the 3, whatever suits your fancy, because there's plenty of arguments that could be made either way, right? I mean, Bron technically to me would have another ring if his team was not garbage. Bron would technically have 2 more rings. If the Lakers actually kept that team that they had in the bubble and came out of the bubble, they'd be a well-rounded team, but you can't. The era of super teams is gone. That's the era is no more. You cannot just put 2 superstars on the team and expect it to work anymore. You have to have a bench. You have to have role players. If you don't have that, it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually if you have a super team now, a lot of the, you look at Minnesota, well, I mean, other than Gobert, they drafted a lot of their guys,
They drafted Naz Reid. They drafted, Nikhil Walker-Alexander. They got Rudy. Everybody thought that was overpaying at the time. You drafted Ant. They've built that team from the ground up. So has OKC. And it's panned out.
That's the way to do. That's the way to. We're back to that now. There for a while. That's what you had to build these super teams and put superstars together. But now it's getting. I mean, you got to have a deep bench now, man. You have to.
Yeah,
you're done. You're done.
I'm just going to tell you right now, between the 3, the least one that I would want to take the shot with the game on the line would be LeBron. I'd take Kobe and MJ any day of the week on the line, game-winning shot. Kobe
for a game-winning shot, yes, but you would take LeBron James to carry you through the season. Well, maybe not over MJ, but over Kobe, in my opinion, 100%.
Nah, I take LeBron over to carry him through a season, yes. But in clutch time, I think MJ's one of the best clutch players of all time.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
He just got that killer instinct. And he redefined killer instinct. So there was ever a definition of a real life dagger, it was MJ.
Yeah. And hey, Bob, last part about the Kobe Bryant thing. I know you said you think you didn't like LeBron James because he went to Miami. You said LeBron James was accused of quitting. 2006 and 2007, Kobe Bryant legitimately quitted. That's all I'll say to end that debate.
Who quit?
I'd like to hear more on that.
2007, Kobe Bryant quit. He quit on his team.
Where'd you hear this shit at?
You want me? I'll send you the video afterwards. He said in 2006 he would rather play on Pluto than play than this team. And in the 4th quarter of one of their games, he refused to shoot the ball to try to get the upstairs management to realize he has nothing. So he legitimately, LeBron James was accused of quitting. Kobe legitimately quit.
I think we should go to positive EV, but we can come back to this because I want to hear more on this. But I think we got to checklist off. And if you guys want to parlay after that, man, I think this is some good discussion because that's a good take. That's a good take.
All right, go, Mike.
Yeah, let's see what's out here last minute. We got Karis LeVert under 3.5 rebounds. Not too bad. Pretty good value on that for sure. I would roll with that. for sure. I'll put a little bit on that.
It looks like you got a good arbitrage opportunity if you got FanDuel and an ESPN bet there.
Yeah, definitely so. And then let's see what else is out here. Donovan Mitchell under 10.5 rebounds and assists. Thoughts on this, guys?
I like it.
Yep.
Darius Garland's the point guard. Donovan's just been scoring these last couple of games because they need it.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll roll with that one.
I feel like though there's so many unders though for the Cleveland players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see a lot less opportunities with the way Boston rebounds across from 1 through 5, even without Kristaps. But I mean, hey, also they're going to lose a lot of opportunities as well because microphone head, what's his name? Jared Allen is also not there, so that limits you on rebounds as well.
Yep, and which is why we got Jason Tatum over 9.5 rebounds with value here. So I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, Justin, they got out rebounded last game 38 to 55. So leading rebounder for the Cavs was Evan Mobley with 13. Everybody else didn't even touch more than 7, and Karis LeVert had 7 off the bench. So
yeah, I took Karis LeVert under 16.5
PRA.
Yeah,
you should be okay. He's not gonna hit that.
Okay, glad to hear that. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of plays out here. That's what I'm gonna roll with for right now. I'm gonna go with those few bets, and yeah, we'll see if we can catch those out. We got a question here. So how do you guys feel then the voting for most clutch award going to Curry this year? All the best player talk.
So follow-up question. Do y'all know what that award is based off of?
Not fully.
You're muted, Bob.
Bob, you're muted. We can't hear you. So
I have no fucking idea.
Okay. So that is based off of a clutch time metric. So there's a metric, like the certain criteria that have to be met that counts as points. Because we all know, over the last couple of years, but there's been a lot of clutch shots that he's hit. So don't think the two are synonymous. Yes, one is contained inside the other, but they're both not the same thing. So it's not just game-winning shots. It's like, I think it's like fourth quarter, 3 minutes less, and the game is less than something or something like that. Those are considered clutch points. And Curry's been good at those this year. In my opinion, there were other better candidates, but who am I?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the quit on his team.
All right.
I'm looking. I now remember this. If you don't remember what Kobe was trying to do, they were down in that game 7. He had come off a 50-point game the game before. His idea was, and he didn't shoot much in the fourth quarter. To get back in the game, somebody else needed to start making shots. He was trying to get the other guys going, turn the momentum around, and at the same time sending a message to management that we can't have Luke Walton, Lamar Odom, and Kwame Brown being the guy. Okay.
Yes, and that's garbage right there. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. My golly, you know what that shows? That shows goddamn leadership. That's a leader.
Well, here's the thing. Pau Gasol, everybody, LeBron won his first couple of championships. Dwayne Wade is a Hall of Famer without LeBron James. He was going to be a Hall of Famer with or without LeBron.
Correct.
Chris Bosh, probably going to be a Hall of Famer with or without LeBron. He was already having a great career. He was already going to be the guy. If he stayed in Toronto or went wherever, he was probably going to be good to go. Now, Pau Gasol, I don't know. He's a Hall of Famer without Kobe. I mean, his best years were with Kobe, and Kobe made him a better player. I mean, he was a good player, but he was no Hall of Fame caliber, I don't think, until joining up with Kobe. And look at what else they had. I mean,
he was really good when he was on the Grizzlies.
Pau was really good.
Is not a Hall of Famer, though.
But you got to understand, when Powell was in the West, he was fighting the West when he was on the Grizzlies from 2001 to about 2007, 2008. Okay. He was playing some of the best West 4s and 5s and still made an All-Star, still won Rookie of the Year his first year, and was averaging 20.8 points. That's in the West. At that time, the West was all bigs at that time. So he had some really good competition. At that time, Yao Ming was there. Yao Ming is a bona fide Hall of Famer.
The great bigs at that time, the great bigs were in the East. KG, Dwight Howard, the bigs that were, at that time, it was Dwight. It was in the East. I mean, Dwight. That's why Kevin Garnett, Kobe had to get Powell pumped up against the Celtics to play, because Kevin Garnett ate his lunch. He ate his lunch.
But then that's even more credit to Pau Gasol, because you're playing all these bigs. You had Dirk in the West. You had Yao Ming. You had, who else did you have just in the West? Right?
But when you're talking about 06, there was no Pau Gasol. Okay.
Well, yeah, there was no Pau Gasol in 06.
Right. And Kobe had shit.
No, he was wanting to get something. Yeah, he needed some help.
He needed Powell.
Sure.
He needed Powell. If I'm not comparing Powell and Shaq at all. Okay.
Yeah. No.
But if he didn't have Powell, he doesn't get those rings. In my opinion, he does not get those rings. There's no way to slice it. He doesn't. Andrew Bynum would be his starting center.
Yeah,
right. That's Andrew
True,
Bynum.
but Kobe and Pau Gasol would be the first to tell you. Kobe turned him into. He gave him that will and that desire to want to go win a championship. Because
I agree. Iron sharpens iron.
They got smoked by Boston that first time. Powell was there, and Kevin Garnett ate his lunch.
Oh, bad. And I can't forget, God forbid, I forgot Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was in the West. And we're going to fucking say that Powell's not a Hall of Famer, and he had all these Hall of Fame
he's a Hall of Famer, but would he have been a Hall of Famer before he joined up with Kobe the rest of his career?
If he kept producing the way he was, even if Powell won maybe one or no chips, he's still a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
If he was going to get chewed up by those bigs in the East, then I don't know how. Without Kobe, getting him that killer instinct, I don't know how, because they weren't going to win nothing with Memphis. Memphis wasn't winning no shit championship.
True.
Let's let Justin get in here real quick, because I'm saying Kobe didn't quit. I'm saying you're finding a bunch of bullshit there, man.
Let me respond. Okay, would you say, I can't remember now, Bob, did you say LeBron James ever quit when in his NBA career? Because I thought I recalled you saying he quit during the Boston season.
He quit his team. He said he was taking his talents to South Beach. He quit his fucking team that was in the off season. That's what I'm talking about. Kobe threatened that, but he got the Lakers management to move.
Well, it's the exact same thing in my opinion then. Because yes, he didn't leave the team, but he even said, he's like, "Oh, I'd rather play on Pluto than play in LA right now." But the Lakers actually did something for him, unlike the Cavaliers for LeBron James.
Out of all four of us here, the biggest Kobe fan is up here in the right-hand corner, and that's Mike. He loved him. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now.
That.
You did too. My
God, I know that. I said I don't know that I'm the biggest Kobe fan.
He was your
100%. Oh yes, no doubt about it.
The bottom line is that Kobe was trying to force management to do something more. They still have Phil Jackson.
He was in Cleveland.
Not to the degree. I don't know.
Hey, don't forget when the Lakers played the Pacers. I know a lot of people say Shaq won those championships, and of course, you look at the numbers, and Shaq was fouled out again when they needed a game won. When Shaq fouled out, Kobe took over that game against Indiana. I think that was a 6-game series. Without Kobe winning that game for them, with Shaq on the bench fouled out, They may not have a champion. They may not be a three-peat. So I feel like Shaq and Kobe were equally as important for each other because the Lakers weren't going to win a championship without Kobe either. There's no way that roster was winning without Kobe with just Shaq. No, because they almost lost to Portland.
No,
I want to jump in. I want to jump in here right now with what Shaq said the other day. All right. Okay. When he went to Miami, did Miami, have they already won a championship? Correct. That's correct,
Yes.
right?
Dwayne Wade won one before.
Yes.
Got there.
Exactly. You know what Shaq said? He just followed Dwayne Wade's lead. And I guarantee you one thing, that's exactly what LeBron did too. That Miami team, the leader of that team was D. Wade.
No.
I disagree. I disagree.
No. Hey, Bob, let me respond.
Okay.
In the one where they lost to the Mavericks, Dwayne Wade was the leader. That's correct. You know who the leader was from the one in OKC and then San Antonio? LeBron James, because Dwayne Wade said, hey, this is your team now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm just going to say that's D. Wade leading the way by saying it's your team, LeBron. That's leadership. And that's the kind of guy Dwayne Wade was. And that's what you had with Kobe, too. I'm just saying.
They gave him the keys to the kingdom. So who's leading the team? LeBron James.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. But you know what? I got to go now because we're 47 minutes into this. And gosh, I love it when people agree with me. I'm just saying.
This is a debate that could last hours and hours. Look, I don't like doing this greatest of all time stuff and rank. I have a tough time doing that for me.
But it does get old. I'll give you, it gets old.
Yeah, it's too tough for me. I mean, I love LeBron. I love Kobe. I loved MJ. I mean, it's tough for me to rank.
When we're talking about greatest of all time, let's talk about the greatest of all time hockey capper around, and that would be yours truly. That's right. We're ending on that. Peace.